Good morning, good morning, good morning, Scorpios. Scorpios. Um, Welcome back. For those who are new here and don't know me, I am, and this is God's Divine Reflections, where we give intuitive messages as well as spiritual guidance, along with tarot reading to accommodate those things. These are your love readings and love messages. And listen, smelling their own shit, is that you or the person you're connected to or dealing with? Now, before I kind of jump into all the meditations, which is not a lot when it comes to love, there were more in the general, so check those out. They've been posted and they were posted last week. But there was this context of first message: the fan is a problem. That came up right before we came on. I don't know if you have to sleep with a fan on or they do, but it's causing some congestion issues. Also, snails are significant. I do not know what that's about. I don't know how that applies. I don't know if that's a nickname or what, but let's keep it moving on. But overall, Scorpio, sometimes the problem isn't that you stop loving, it's that you stop feeling. Scorpio, let's talk about it because it came up in your generals. There was this energy about, like we just communicated, smelling your own poop, or maybe it's just the other person dealing with you, but it's their own. It ain't yours. That's the good thing, right? So, but you could be aware, or they could, that hey, you smell it, but I've been smelling it too. So I don't know what this is about. If it's significant to just some, you know, how your parents say you smelling your shit type thing, or you really funky. You like are really funky, or they are. So the major context of everything was that you need to feel again. There's this disconnect with your feelings of some sort. There was a different context in the generals, but when I started meditating on a little deeper when it came to love, there could be some uh, pleasure issues, but nonetheless, this is just something that has to do with feeling overall. Now, this could be selfish love, but this also could be affection and physical touch. This is someone may be emotionally numb, okay? Because feelings, although we talk about the tangible idea of touching, this could be emotionally driven as well. Now, coming from a Scorpio, I don't see that. This could be the person you're connected to that's emotionally disconnected or emotionally numb at this time. But someone also may be giving affection to the wrong person, too. Is it you, Scorpio, or is it them? Now, ego versus vulnerability was another topic that came up. So, is someone stepping into their ego too much, or avoidance, avoiding something, avoiding this love, or avoiding this relationship? Then we had the idea, well, not an idea, but this smelling your poop just wouldn't stop. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, listen, just don't let me start smelling it, okay? So we've come along to these love readings finally, and a good bit of you want to talk. I am going to pull a past, present, and future for you, and then a past, present, and future for them. But it does seem like they noticed I forgot to totally cleanse all the energy. So let's do that. Got my incense burned, cleaned everything, but let me bless the place. So your oracle has already come out, and we're going to go there first. But like I said in the beginning, there is going to be a past, present, and a future card for you and for the person you're connected to. Now, if it's multiple people, the cards are going to tell us. Trust me, the cards don't lie, and we will be able to still get that overall energy. And if the cards need to give multiples, they'll do that too. So let's go on to your oracle, Scorpio. It is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now is the time to give to yourself. Interesting. So I know there's going to be a struggle or a challenge for my couples. I think I might have spoken about that in your generals. May have been somebody else's, but it's okay to do that too. Are you smelling this because you're all up in the ass, or are they all up under you? That may be the context where in the couples or dating relationships right now, marriage, it's like there's no disconnect. You're you're probably in the retired realm, or if you aren't, in a position where you work from home on business. So that could be significant to why this person, the person you're dealing with, is so connected to you. You guys may be in business together. You guys may just have that freedom to have access to each other more than the average, which would be outside of work, of course, and the things you do independently. And Spirit is saying there is no independence between the two of you right now, and that's what it's being called. Now, Ace of Wands, spark, independent energy, but it's also active energy, movement. This is telling you to have some type of spark of energy to move in the month of August, Cancer. I'm sorry, Scorpio. Are you dealing with the Cancer? Because they kept wanting to come up. Now, they have been hijacking people's readings, and that was the context to theirs, but we'll see if they come up in full context or they're just peeking in, because they were peekers. Now, I pulled all your cards, so I'll start to go into them as we pulled the others. That spark of energy is in the past, though. So you may have been in this position. If you haven't, if you have not gotten the opportunity to get out there and do something for yourself this summer, not as a couple, not with a group, this is you who need to. It's a dire need if it's in the past coming into the month of August. Because what you're supposed to be currently sitting in is the Knight of Wands energy, passionate adventure. Currently, there is this need for those who might have some disconnect as well to start going out dating. There could be some bland energy, although you're always together. You're always together at home. You're always together at work. You're always together doing nothing that they would prefer. That's what they're saying. Okay? So for my singles, this does look like you've been just sitting home, not doing nothing, or just work and home. That's it. I got a lot of people doing that this summer, and that's odd for the summertime to have that kind of energy. The summer is usually when we see more movement, and then as the fall or winter time comes in, we see more settlement. But with a few of my signs, including you, I'm seeing where there's been a call for action. You haven't been moving. And if it is, it's one of those, what do you call it? Uh, Consistent, structured, kind of like you're functioning as a robot. If you did it with your eyes closed, you could still move around and do it. Type of energy. You need some newness. You need some a spark of adventure is what they're saying. Now, I'm gonna move on to my person you're dealing with. They are actually not wanting to come and speak, which is interesting. But you had two conclusions, and I don't want to give that just yet. But it doesn't look too cute. Now, are you guys going to take your messages and get out there and move? Because otherwise, when it comes to tarot, I look at this as a tool to use to change your course, change your path, change your journey if you have the option to do so. And this could be depending on the outcome. Now, if it's good, you might want to just use this as a guidance to know where to stay or where not to turn. But if it's bad and the person you're dealing with did the same thing, if it's bad, then you have the opportunity to do something different. Okay. Now, the person you're connected to, in the past, they were in amidst a lot of judgment, a lot of renewal, awakening. Maybe they went through a spiritual awakening of some sort, but it was also self-reflection, a wake-up call, a second chance. You may have given them one, or they may have given you a second chance. I'm not sure, but it was some form of return. I, I'm not sure if this happened during Mercury retrograde or before. Let's pray it was before, because if it was during, that could be why this is coming back into question in August after the return. I mean, the retrograde. Um, we are in Saturn retrograde that doesn't have any significance in direct connection to relationships and love. However, it has a significance for a good portion of the signs. I'm not sure if you're one of them. I don't think directly so, but overall for karma. All right. So if there is a second chance, there is this self-evaluation, there's this reckoning or this purpose that's coming up. And like I tell everybody all the time, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I chose to put you here and put the other person here. If this is your story as opposed to this one, switch them. Because it is also a purpose that someone discovered. Not that they never knew about this purpose. I feel like it was just a spiritual awakening of some sort that said, hey, you forgot about this. This is very important. It's so significant that it's as important as this love you're going through. Okay. Now, with the present position, it is this mental entrapment. it is this restriction. It is an energy of being victimized, right? I use this statement of I don't want to do someone else's sentence. And that's just my term or motto when it comes to, and this is just my preference, right? Everybody have them. There's people who prefer not to date people with children. There's people who prefer to date people who may have had a certain background, grew up in a certain background. One of mine is I prefer not to date someone who's been married. Now, that's really putting me in a bucket of where my pond is getting smaller because of my age. But hey, there's a lot of stigmas coming with it. And one of my mottos is I don't want to live under someone else's sentence. And what that looks like is that I compare that to entrapment, where I once was not dating a guy, but was with a friend who had affection and attraction. And that was once something with me, but friends nonetheless, right? And there started to be emotions on his side strong enough where he should have come out and talked about it, but instead he knew there was many reasons why he shouldn't have talked about it. But actions wasn't matching um, all of what was being said, and so one of my statements was to him at some point in conclusion was that how things was flowing as friends, I didn't want to go into a relationship like that because I was already living the old woman's sentence. With all she had done to him, cheated on him, and exposed to him, he is now looking at me like, oh, you're gonna do this too? Oh, you're going out of town to get your hair done? Yeah, right. Like what? So not that those things wouldn't have been doubted and if he hadn't been a divorcee, and this is not to say that this couldn't have come from even a previous relationship. It's just that a marriage in comparison to, and they could be reconsidered depending on timing, right? But a marriage in comparison to just a relationship, and even a relationship could look like a marriage, but timing is the key. Because if someone's been in that routine of marriage for umpteen years or a certain amount of years, there's something a part of them now that they can't really just let go without intentional counseling, intentional, just a lot of things where they don't use that trauma to define a new relationship, right? Current relationship. And what I feel, the reason I gave context to that story is because I feel that that's where you or that other person is right now. They feel mentally entrapped. This is on their mind. But they were also, I don't know. No. That's a different storyline. It could be where they were given a second chance and they now still feel trapped. Maybe they really wanted out, or they gave you the second chance, vice versa. Pick the storyline, and now they're doubting it. Should I have even done this? Should I have just gotten out when they up in the first place? Right now, what's going forward in the future? I can move there now. Deception and strategy from your side, Seven of Swords. She's telling me, shh. What? Nah. No wonder another card came out. Because this is somebody strategically planning the future. Somebody, it doesn't always have to be a bad thing, but deception is connected to it. And with the fourth and additional card that came out, I'm going to use this as a clarifier, one of the three, because there's three. This is old wounds, baggage from the past, resurfacing. So I do believe that this, whatever the second chance was it behind has resurfaced, and the deception and strategy coming from the other side, whether this is the person who was given a second chance or not, they are deceiving or strategizing their future for this not to happen again. And that could look like, I'm gonna give you two sides. If this is the person who was given a second chance, they're still trying to do the same things, but because you found out this way, they're gonna figure it in this way, figuring you'll never come in and looking at things. And I get cheating, but to me, it's like gambling. It was heavy gambling. So I don't know if this person has gambling issues, money issues, or something like that. But maybe they're placing money in another account, is what I'm saying. So you don't have win of it. Like say they get a bonus, you don't have you know what they get paid, but you don't know what their bonus is. So all the bonus is going into this account so they can still do their gambling thing. But you have to know that over the course of time, that's still going to trickle into your money as well, because a gambler has an addiction that doesn't stop at what their balance is. Okay, so remember that. Now, your outcome is, and I keep switching roles because I feel like there's going to be a lot of cross watchers come to do your reading more than you. because you're busy strategizing possibly. But if this is the other person strategizing, you are currently celebrating in this future energy, or you will be. This is also friendship, reunion, joy, appreciation, honor, respect, and an emotional connection. So that is an odd outcome for you when theirs looks like deception and strategy. Did they win? Did they figure it out? Did they get past you? So Nine of Wands clarifies that, and that's never giving up, last stand, persistence. You're gonna keep fighting. You feel like you're close to success, but also fatigue. But you're strong-willed about this relationship. So looks like a marriage. But you do feel that they are, and the reason you gave, I don't think this is a second chance. I think this has been multiple chances, and this is the final chance. And that's where I feel like this celebration that is coming in the month of August, or at some, no, it's not in August at all. The deception and strategy is after August, and so is the celebrating. So, I do believe that there is going to be a long string of success between the two of you, but that doesn't look like that's the permanent outcome. It does appear he and or her will attempt again. It's going to come back up. However, right now you don't see that being the case. You are okay with where you are. You're celebrating this renewal between the two of you. They have been doing the things that they weren't doing in the past, dating you, taking you out, bringing you on adventures with the money they used to gamble, right? So you see the money being spent, or rather, um, used in a better manner, not just wasted, but taken advantage of between the two of you. That's responsible. Now, again, in hindsight, you have the wherewithal as a potential option. This is not going to be everybody's story to because this deception and strategy, we can look at it as a positive sense. It's a strategy that you both put in. Maybe you set in certain boundaries and guardrails. There's therapy going on. There's gambling counseling. What's the addiction line, or uh, when you have a gambling, they have the number up. I don't know, but maybe there has been necessary precautions put in place so that this doesn't happen. But when there's this strategy and old wounds connected, the old wounds do resurface. So someone at some point, depending on who it is going to come back to some old energy. Okay. Now, do they express them and try to get out of it before they make the action, or make the wrong decision or action? That's to be decided upon the person, and it's everybody's story is going to be different. Okay. This is the collective message. But if we go into people, you have one, two, two people come up only. So on the side of the deception and strategy, just to kind of give a significance to that one, because that's one storyline, and I don't know if they're the person given the second chance, but I would expect it to be, if it's not just strategizing, right? If it's deception, I would think it's the person who was given a second chance. Sagittarius. It's a Sagittarius energy, and it does look very flighty. Okay, doesn't look promising if it's a Sagittarius. Let me just say that. Now, other signs could be something we can look into a little deeper once we go live, or we go deep, if it was more of a private reading, because this could turn differently. This could be because you saw this, they saw this, they say, you know what, let me put up extra guardrails just in case. And they get past it. So this is like a warning, like I said. Now, the other person that came up was Scorpio or Libra, but heavy on Scorpio. Um, they also could have been the person with the deception and or second chance provided. I just say those as the other people. Scorpio. Cancer is significant. So there is Sagittarius, Scorpio, Cancer, potentially Virgo in your reading. I would believe it to be the other person, like I said, that was given the second chance. But if this was you, just know they may or may not be aware, and that's not insight for you to go and do what you need to do. This is guidance to be able to do the right thing if you really want to be with this person. Because what it looks like moving forward, I knew it doesn't look like roses. It could be a tower moment with this clarifier in the future, far future, because I think there's going to be a good run, at least 7 months, honestly. I think 7 months is pushing it because the holidays could be challenging, but I think y'all get past it. Now, if you're willing to put in that time and think that's enough, fine. But if you feel like I'm getting this energy of somebody saying, prepare to get out. Do that too as a second option. Now, for my singles, again, this is people who are dating, people who are coupled, but these are people, I mean, people who are dating and people who are single, not coupled, right? You in the past were sitting home, self reflecting, doing all this. Uh, yes, you've had your spiritual awakening. Yes, you've sat down and renewed things, but it's time to get out. You're stuck here, a lot of you. Now, if you have, right, you are dating, but you got a lot of players in your circle, a lot of pick me's. Okay, so be cautious because this can trap you. You have the energy in this present position where you could become trapped by someone. You could be all uh, enthralled with their beauty, and I'm looking at them as a very beautiful person. They're very affectionate, and they have a lot of weird, positive words of endearment and different love languages. Where they, to me, trauma bond sometimes. And love bomb, BOMB. So be careful, right? Especially with deciding on someone finally. But there is opportunity moving forward for you to strategize love and get a good prospect because there does look to be celebrations. Old wounds are still going to come out. That's prominent in any relationship. Okay, but there is this never giving up energy for my singles where you're going to stay the course and try to find a positive uh, prospect or significant other. So that looks good. It looks good. It don't look great, but there is an option for it to move back into a bad place. Okay. So Scorpio. Yep, I finally got it right. Scorpio. Look, dating. This is for my singles and my couples. This look, I turned it over. Y'all don't want to see it. It's time to do this. Okay. For my couples, I don't feel like you've been doing it, and if you have, keep doing it. It's giving you brownie points. Hopefully you have good intentions and this can continue. Don't just make this a band-aid to fix the where you come out of or the sorry. Continue this. The significant topic for you guys is dating. And I will bet you, since there was this thing about feeling coming up in the beginning, I have a lot of things coming up about when we were talking about that non-pleasure, not getting pleased energy. It's because this is a mental person you may be connected to where their mind has to be uh, loved and caressed, and you have to pique their interest in some form of activity. It's like they like to do things like party. I'm getting going out a little bit, maybe even just something outside the house. The typical where you dress up. They want to see you in heels. I saw the back of your calf. I saw your bicep. They want to see you shine. Like they know what they have, right? But they want to show you off. That's what this is. And it can hurt the relationship if you don't give into it. Okay, K Scorpio, Cancer. Why do they keep coming up? There is a Scorpio Cancer connection that is very significant for you in the month of August for a bunch of you, even if it's not love. Pay attention. All right, so I will see you guys in the next readings. We have money, wealth, and career coming up next week, but there's also a few more love readings, so keep your notifications on. If this resonated with you, let me know below in the comments. Tomorrow we're one step closer to wrapping up love, but I'll see you guys next week.